Alright everyone, welcome back. In this video I will teach you how to set up your Linux operating system for building Laravel application. So here I am on Linux based system. Currently I'm using Ubuntu and Zorin operating system, which is Ubuntu, and Ubuntu is already Linux based system. So in this video I will teach you what you need in a Linux based system to uh, make your system capable for building Laravel based application. So the first thing we need is as always Composer. If you were a Windows user before this, you might be already familiar with this. So we need Composer, and we need Apache server, and most of the Linux based system already have Apache installed, and we need MySQL server, Apache and MySQL server. Some of the Linux based system don't have MySQL server already installed, so you will need to install that. And we need Node.js for installing Javascript dependencies, and PHP is always. So some of the system might already have PHP installed in the system. So if you haven't installed these, go ahead and install this. So I already have installed it by type Composer, and it is going to show me these information. So this means I already have a Composer installed. We need Apache, so if I type Apache to status, server Apache to status, service Apache to status, I think we're gonna need to use sudo, and we will put our password Apache to status, and this is going to return the status of the Apache 2 server, which is currently running. And we need MySQL server. So if I type MySQL tag v, and I need to use capital V for showing the version. As you can see, I'm using 14.14 and I'm using Linux 64-bit operating system. So we need Node.js. So if I type node and Node.js tag v, it is going to return the Node.js version, which is 14.19.1. And as always, PHP tag v and tag v, so it will show the PHP version. PHP tag v, and I'm using 8.1.3. So now we need to set up the MySQL server so that we can interact with that. And you may know that in the environment variable we are making connection to the uh, MySQL server. So for that, if you have MySQL installed, you can always use sudo user already have access to the MySQL server. So if I type sudo MySQL, and as you can see, I'm already inside. So if you do the, if you try this, it might not work because I tried this before, so that's why it's working. If I try right here, it will ask for password. So here you will need to enter the system password, and now you are inside. Now we need to create a user and set a password for him and grant privileges to them so that it can use the MySQL server and can interact with the MySQL server from the Laravel application. So for that we need to create a user. So the command for that is create user, and then the username. So let's say John, and it will be in small cases, and identified by. So we need to set the password for this. So I will type identified by and then password. So the password for this will, let's say, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and if I put semicolon at the end and hit enter, as you can see, query is okay. So now we can show this user, and now we need to grant privileges to this user. So for that, so before we grant privileges, we need to create a specific database for this user. So to create database, you can do this. You can create database and then database name. So uh, let's say test db, and if make sure to put semicolon at the end. So now if I show the databases, and we will find the test database, which is right here. So now we need to set we created the user, so we need to set privileges to give privileges to that user to access this database. For that, we can do that using grunt all and then privileges on and then dot asterisk, and now here we need to put the username. So in this case it is Jan user that we created right here, so we need to put that name right here and duplicate it. So if I hit enter, now we successfully give this user privileges to add do CRUD system with this database. So now if we go to a basic Laravel application, if I go to here, I have basic Laravel application, Laravel API, Laravel API. Now here I in the desktop slash Laravel API CRUD. This is a simple Laravel project. So let's try to connect to that database with that credential. So I will open VS Code editor in this project, and this is a Laravel project. You can see the directories, app, database, and storage vendor. So the VS Code editor is now loading. So let's wait for this. Now, so inside the .ini file, here we need to make the database connection. So I set the database name to testdb, the username to John, and the password to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So now that's it. That's all you need. So this user has privileges to and access to this database for CRUD operation. So I will save this, and I need to enter the password. If I can type my password. So now let's press the migration. So I will see if it is working fine. So PHP is migrate fresh, and let's hit enter to see what's going to happen. And here we go. As you can see, we successfully migrated the migration. So if I go to that test db, so I will use sudo user sudo mysql, and oops, and I will enter my password, system password, and wrong password again, and I will see the data of test db. So I will change my database to test db, and here I will show all the show tables, and here we go. We successfully migrated our migrations to testdb database using that John user with this password. So if I go to migrations, as you can see, a user password reset, field jobs, and personal access in product. These are the migration, and which are right here. The migration is not right here because Laravel add this to every database to store the information about these migrations. So that's it. Now we can do any steps we want. So uh, that's how you can connect to the MySQL server. I will put semicolon, control D. Yeah, so that's how you can connect to your newly created MySQL database from .ini file in Laravel application. So we created a test database, and then we give access to this John user to the databases, and then we created a user with the username and password, and then we grant privileges to this user, and now we are able to connect from our application to that MySQL server. And we are using MySQL server, as I said in the command line. We are using MySQL server, so that's why it is MySQL, and it is always, if you are a MySQL user, so you will be always using MySQL. You can use MySQL and you can use PostgreSQL and other stuff. So, and by default, these are the default port and host. So we are local, so that's why it is local. So that's it. So that's how you can connect to MySQL server, and that is what you need in order to work as a Laravel developer in Linux-based system. So uh, let's review what we need for this. So we need a composer for installing and Laravel projects and installing dependencies. You might know that we can create Laravel application by executing the command composer create project and Laravel slash Laravel and then project name. So you can pass the project name and it will create Laravel project. And for installing JavaScript dependencies, we install Node.js, and uh, the we can install npm, or npm comes by default with Node.js, so we can use that to install our JavaScript dependency. We can use yarn as well for that, but most of the time you will use npm. We have Apache too for serving the server, and by the way, you can use the PHP artisan server command as well, and that is what you will be always doing. Apache server will connect you to the MySQL server, and MySQL server is where you will be creating all the database stuff. So that's it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.